Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the August 2022 month ahead prediction. So if you are curious about what is in store for you during the month of August and what is going to transpire and happen, we're going to try to get as much information as possible in today's video. If you are new to these videos, I'm going to give you a quick little explanation about how they work. So over here we have group number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, you can then scroll down to the comment box or the description box to find the timestamp that is going to be linked to your specific card. And then you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your month of August. So with that being said, if you also like to choose with crystals on these cards, then let's go ahead and put some crystals on these cards. Okay, my loves, if you like to choose with crystals on the cards, then here are our crystal options. Over here on group number 1, we have some Mexican green calcite. Then on group number 2, we have some citrine. Group number 3, we have some danbarite. And then group number 4, we have some amethyst. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you would like to find the group or pile that you're the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box so that you can skip right ahead to your personal month ahead prediction for August. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. Okay, so if you chose group number 1, then this is going to be your August prediction. So let's get right into it. Okay, so group 1, we start off with the 2 of Pentacles being reversed, the 4 of Cups upright, the Knight of Cups being reversed, the 5 of Wands being reversed, and then the King of Swords upright. The first thing that I'm noticing for you in the month of August, when we start off with these 2 cards, there is some busyness. I feel like those of you who chose this pile are already feeling like an overload of tasks to do, things to complete, obligations or responsibilities that you need to kind of take care of. When the 2 of Pentacles is reversed, it symbolizes that we've kind of piled up too much on our plate to the point where we're gonna have to cancel a couple things. We're gonna have to like say no to a few things. You may already be feeling this already while you're watching this video, even if it's not July quite yet. I feel like a lot of you are kind of feeling like there's just a lot going on. There's a lot on my plate, and maybe we're gonna have to cut away some of our other things so that we can complete what really needs to get complete, because there's something I think you've been putting off as well. Since this is next to the 4 of Cups, there's been something that maybe you've been putting off and you're telling yourself like, oh, eventually I'm gonna get to it, eventually I'm gonna get to it. And it could even be this like procrastination kind of energy. And the month of August is like, no, we need to step up and we need to complete all of these things. And I think that there's just this energy in the month of August where part of you really just needs to relax a little bit. And I feel like you're going to be creating that time in August for you, for yourself to relax. And maybe we're like, okay, well, it kind of like sucks that I won't be doing some of the plans that I really wanted to do. But at the same time, it's like you really need to kind of recuperate your energy and complete the things that are of a higher priority. So I just see you kind of sorting out what is the biggest priority for you versus what is something that maybe can be put off until some other time. And I'm seeing you just being a little bit more aware of your time management in the month of August, especially in the beginning of August, because again, I'm just feeling like there is a lot of busyness. For some of you, an interesting message that I'm getting is a little bit of boredom, which is kind of interesting. Like it could be because there's so many other things going on, and maybe we don't have like the time for fun, or maybe we find that our enjoyment plans aren't really happening in the beginning of August, and maybe we find ourselves a little bit bored and we really want to liven up our energy. And I see you being able to do that by the end of August and kind of figuring it out throughout the month of August, because I see you kind of becoming aware of this and then figuring out, okay, what is a way where I can be a little bit more fun and enjoy life a little bit more, because I think that's the biggest thing for you right now, group number 1, is that you need to figure out ways of being able to enjoy life a little bit more, or at least being able to enjoy doing the tasks that need to get done. So for example, what I like to do because I live kind of a busy life, I guess, as well. And one thing that I've found really works for me is making the most fun in that moment that I can. So even if I'm doing something really boring, like, oh, I need to clean up my house and like do all my laundry, I'll turn on some really fun music. I will make some tea and I will dance around my house and have a little dance party while I'm cleaning, and I'll be singing at the top of my lungs, and it ends up being kind of fun. Or you know, if I'm doing like some computer work and it's just like a bunch of business like numbers and crunching, all that kind of whatnot, I will, again, like, I like making tea, like literally I love making tea. I have tea next to me all the time. I'm a tea addict, but it just makes me feel like I'm having more fun in those moments. So even when I'm rushing or even when I'm super busy, just kind of doing something that makes the moment that much better will actually allow you to get through your tasks a lot easier. So I don't know, it's just some advice that I have that's coming through, but it does look like you're actually catching up on things that you've been meaning to catch up on. I'm almost seeing you doing the things that you've been putting off for a while, some of the more boring stuff that maybe you've been putting off for a while. And I see you finally kind of sitting down and being like, okay, no, I really need to get this done. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. And I see you getting that out of the way in early August. And I see a lot of you just kind of catching up with what you need to catch up on. I do also feel like a lot of you may feel because of all this kind of obligation that you have, you may be kind of stripping away your fun a little bit. And that's why we have this Knight of Cups being reversed, because it may kind of feel emotionally draining for you to kind of do all these things that maybe we've been putting off for a little bit. And I really see you focusing on, okay, how can I get my emotions back in the right place? How can I focus on some self-care and some self-love and some focus on emotional fulfillment? I think you're also, okay, I'm all over the place. I think you're also going to be really proud of yourself, especially at the end of the month, as you're looking back on all that you've accomplished and did, especially because you're taking care of all of this stuff. You are going to be so proud of yourself, and it's like a weight has lifted off of your shoulders for kind of like focusing on these things, and it'll really feel like you are a lot more confident moving forward in your life. There's a lot more clarity and a lot more direction, because beforehand, when we have like a jumbled up mess, it can be really hard to kind of see clearly where we need to go and what we need to do. But by the end of August, like, look at this King of Swords. Like, this is you by the end of August looking back on all of this, and all of a sudden you have this clear mind and you're looking back on it and you're feeling very accomplished, and it's this feeling of clarity. All of a sudden everything is in order. Like, this is the card of everything is in order and it can finally flow, and I understand it better. So some of you, if this is like studying for a test, for example, you're gonna really understand that that content by the end of the month. Or if you are doing something else where, you know, you need to maybe focus on something with your career or your job or whatever it is, it looks like you have so much more clarity and so much more ease, so much direction. It's like the skies are clear by the end of the month, and it is going to make you feel, again, so much better. I see you also getting into a much better mental state because of this. I feel like this has been something that's been really weighing on you mentally and emotionally, because we've been maybe putting some stuff off, and like, maybe there's a part of us that's like, I really want to do that, but when am I going to actually make time to do that? Well, looks like August is the month. And the King of Swords, again, you're just gonna have this ultimate clarity by the end of the month. And then the Five of Wands being reversed, I think you're also learning how to like organize your life a lot better. I feel like that's a major focus for you in the month of August, is like this organization of yourself, your life, your direction, where you are going, all the things that you desire to accomplish and break through, and gain clarity on. I think you're also going to be figuring out some logistics, because the King of Swords does kind of deal with a more logical, logistic type of stuff. So this can even be focusing on the more kind of logical side of things, the more paperwork type of stuff, or figuring out who you need to network with and be in contact with, and answering questions, figuring things out, studying stuff, reading about stuff, and then planning. So I'm definitely seeing this doorway opening in regards to what you are planning in your life, and the direction that you really desire to go in. And again, by the end of the month, there's so much clarity and there's so much more yes, and there's more of like a solid, clear pathway ahead of you. And I think it's all coming because you're so proud of like accomplishing and finishing up and wrapping up the rest of this stuff. And I feel like you are going to be sorting out your mind. Your mentality is becoming so much more clear. And I also think that you're going to feel more at ease with yourself as well. Kind of like we were saying earlier, there is so much more ease coming in for you, group number one. And I'm so proud to say that and so happy for you to tell you that, because it just looks like everything is coming back into balance for you. The month of August is getting stuff back in balance for you. So let's get into our next few cards. We also have the Harvest card here. So a lot of you, this is time for you to get stuff in order so that you can begin harvesting. I'm seeing a big like blessings kind of coming out of you getting your stuff in order, because for one, it's going to be a huge weight off of your shoulders. And I really think it's going to add clarity to where you'll know how to kind of attain some of the things that you're really wanting to attain. It's going to make that a lot clearer. And the harvest is when we reap some benefits of what we're doing. And so what you're doing in August, even though it's kind of like something that's maybe like, it's like weighing on your shoulders a little bit, it's going to be something that offers a lot of abundance down the line as you kind of do this. This is something that's going to offer you more reward, right? So there's going to be a lot of payoff from you doing this and from you getting all this stuff out of the way. There's going to be some big payoffs there. The harvest can also indicate that now's the time for us to enjoy what we've sown and to reap what we've sown. But I'm kind of seeing this happening near the end of August. As you kind of sort this all out, then it's time for you to really reap what you've sown. The next card that we have is letting go. So in order to kind of let go of some of this stuff, it needs to kind of get out of the way, right? And then this letting go card, I'm also seeing you being able to let go of certain emotions that have been holding you back, certain mindsets that have been holding you back. I feel like there's a whole like rebirth of you by the end of the month, because this is you by the end of the month, this King of Swords energy, which is so much more clear and directed than what this was. This is like kind of being jumbled up and needing to sort stuff out. And then all of a sudden it's like the bam, clarity is like right at the end there. So I feel like you're going to be, some of you may even be decluttering. I'm hearing decluttering. Some of you feel like it's a decluttering time for you, and there's just a lot maybe in your home environment, or maybe even mentally, emotionally decluttering. This could be decluttering on any sort of level, physical, mental, emotional decluttering. But I really think that it's going to bring you more abundance. You're going to feel more abundant through this act of decluttering your life. There could also be certain other habits that you're really wanting to let go of. This could even be talking about letting go of certain plans that you've had with people, or different other plans that you've had that you wanted to do in August, but maybe we just don't have time for it. And then we have to like kind of just let it go for another time, because we know that we can't keep putting this stuff off if we want to end up here, right? And then once we end up here, all of a sudden we have room and availability to kind of focus on all the other plans. So let's see what else we get for you. We have the Woodwives, adaptability. A lot of you, this is time for you to really just step into a new environment. And this new environment is the one where we just kind of like really start to grind and get our stuff together. So I'm seeing a lot of you doing that. And the Woodwives, wood is really sticking out to me. I'm seeing a broom. The wood is making me think of a broom, and I see you cleaning up your life, cleaning your space, cleaning your emotions, cleaning your mind so that you can have clarity. I'm definitely seeing a lot of that. And I'm also seeing a lot of growth. I'm seeing shedding, because this is like autumn. So I'm seeing the shedding of leaves and this clarity for new regrowth. I'm seeing you getting rid of old stuff. So I don't know if that's part of your plans in the month of August, or I don't know if that's been something that's on your mind lately, is to like declutter, but that's something that's coming up very strong in this reading here. Then we also have Will-o'-the-Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. Ooh, some of you, as you declutter, you might find hidden stuff that you're like, oh my God, I forgot about that. Or, oh my God, I'm getting re-inspired by that. Or you may even find that, because shadows can indicate something that's like lacking. something where it's more void, right? And so as we declutter, we're kind of creating more space. So there's good luck, there's like treasures hidden in creating more space in your life. There's miracles and blessings hidden for you within decluttering your life, within opening up more space for other things, letting stuff go that really needs to be let go of. There could even be something that you know deep down inside that you need to let go of in your life. And this is about your willpower. There's been a subtle feeling that you need to go and explore something, or that you need to go into something that maybe you've been kind of not wanting to face, because the shadows can also talk about our subconscious, things that we don't want to face. And this is like the will, this is like the subtle wisp or whisper, right? Whisper that's been kind of coming to you, being like, it's time to finally like complete this. It's finally time to face this and deal with it. It is finally time to just hunker down and get it done, even though we might be like pretty apprehensive about it. This is finally time to do that. And then you'll notice that a lot of goodness comes from this, because this treasure's hidden in the shadows. There's a lot of good blessings that are going to come out of doing all of that. Okay, and then we also have straddling worlds, wandering between realms. So a lot of you really want to keep sort of just focusing on other stuff, focusing on the stuff that you really like to do, for example. But the month of August, it looks like we're going to be straddling between worlds. It's like if we want to shift our life, we're going to have to maybe dive into this other world for a little bit, where we're getting a lot of stuff done, decluttering. And some of you, this is a transition month. August is a transition month for some of you, where you're stepping into a new world, and that's why we maybe have to deal with a lot of different things. Maybe that's why we have to focus on getting stuff done and, you know, pushing the paperwork through, for example, or finishing up other stuff that we meant to do a while ago. Now it's time for us to do those things. And so this straddling world, I really see you kind of coming from the life that you're used to, and now you kind of really need to step up a little bit more. I feel like you're about to start something higher, something bigger, a lot of you, and you're sort of transitioning from your regular routine. And now you need to let go of your regular routine in order to kind of step into this new world. A lot of you are ascending to the next level of something. This could be like a graduation, starting a new job, opening up a new business, starting a new adventure, starting a new something, just heightening yourself in some way. Or you may even just have a vision of yourself, and you're visualizing yourself as a much higher up sort of high vibe or higher self type of person. And in order to get there, we're going to need to do some letting go, harvest what we've already kind of accumulated in our current life, so that we can move on and step into the new kind of world that we're creating for ourselves. So I'm seeing a lot of you just getting ready to up level your life and to kind of step into a new world. So let's get into our astrology cards that we have. We have the planet Uranus, which is all about unexpected change and adaptability. It even says on here, innovation, discovery, individuality, technology, but it's also the planet of massive unexpected change. So a lot of you, August, I think, is going to be a very different month than what you usually do. It might cause there might be a lot of changes. A lot of you are going to be innovating within your life during the month of August, discovering new things, finding your individuality, and kind of, you know, moving more towards the new you that wants to come out. Technology could be a thing. Some of you may be buying a new phone or something, or a new laptop. Some of you may be upgrading your technology or something like that, since we do have technology coming up. So some of you, that could be a thing where we're kind of upgrading our life in some way. Maybe we're getting like, I don't know, again, like a new laptop or something, or buying something that can really help us in our next venture or in our next up level. So that can definitely indicate that. We also have the Sun card. So self-expression, ego, creativity, and identity. You are finally ready to face the things that you were not ready to face, and it's actually going to benefit you so much. Group number one, oh my goodness, the fact that we have the Sun card, and we also had the card that was talking about those shadows, treasures hidden in the shadows. As you start to illuminate those and face those and kind of complete all this more shadowy stuff in your life, this is going to really begin brightening your life. This is going to brighten your life. Your life is going to feel a lot lighter, a lot easier. it is going to be so much better. So self-expression, ego, creativity, identity. So again, we have two ones talking about your identity or individuality here. The sun is also very creative. I think this is really going to open you up so much more as to kind of like complete these other things. You're going to feel so much lighter and brighter. We also have trine. Trine is like one of the greatest aspects in all of astrology. It's the most strongest aspect. So this says fluency, ease. So I feel like you're opening up ease in your life and you're using your power and your strength to kind of push through on these certain things that you need to. And then it's talent, development. So developing certain talents, privilege, aptitude, self-comfort, temper, laziness, and intelligence. So if you've been sort of like lazy and whatnot, now's the time to use your strength to push through and to be strong and get things done, because then it's going to set you up in a much stronger position for your future. We also have Taurus here. So I just want to mention quickly, Uranus is connected to Aquarius, the sun is connected to Leo, and then we have Taurus. So there could be some significant, those could be indicating some significant people in your life or even yourself. Since we also have the King of Swords coming up, some prominent zodiac signs in your life could be the air signs such as Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Aquarius looks like it is pretty prominent, so some of you may be in Aquarius or Aquarius, sun, moon, rising, or know some Aquariuses in your life that may be prominent during the month of August. And then again, Tauruses and then also Leos look like they're pretty prominent as well. So the fact that we also have Taurus coming up, a lot of you want to create more comfort and more ease in your life is what I'm seeing through the Taurus card. A lot of you are wanting to create more beauty in your life. Some of you may even be focusing on your beauty. Some of you may be like, I want to redo my hair, something else, something different. Some of you may be like, oh, I want to like change my wardrobe a little bit and have like a new me that's coming out. Some of you may want to go through a certain transformation aesthetically, even in your environment even. Some of you may want to create more self-care, and more time for self-care can also be another aspect of Taurus. So it looks like that's kind of what you're preparing for and opening up the channel for during the month of August. Sorry if I'm randomly saying April. April for some reason keeps coming to my mind, and obviously we're talking about August, but for some reason April keeps coming to my mind. So I don't know if that was like a significant time for some of you, or if some of you have a birthday in April, but for some reason April keeps wanting to come to my mind, even though we're definitely talking about August here. But yeah, I don't know if April's significant for some of you, but we also have the Warrior coming up. And then the Void. Ooh, yes. So some of you have been wanting to avoid something is what I'm hearing here. But now it's time to just, step into that warrior position, push through on it, get these things done that need to get done, because that's just life, right? We gotta sometimes like step up, do some things that maybe we didn't really want to do, but it's for our benefit. So I'm just really seeing you heading straight into something to finally complete it, something that you were avoiding for a little while. And you are filling the void. You are focusing on what you really need to focus on in the month of August, my group number ones. And the last card that we have for you, this is kind of like they're almost like advice cards, I guess you could say. So this is our last one to talk about for the month of August. So let's see what we have. Balance. Heart or mind, body or soul, creative or calculated, masculine or feminine, soft or strong, spirit or science, momentum or rest, sun or moon, summer or winter. What is life but a beautiful, delicious mixture of both? Perhaps it doesn't have to be one or the other. Perhaps we are made to be some things, but then also everything, all in one. After all, the sun and the moon exist together in the sky. It is simply our perspective that keeps us from seeing both at the same time. So this is realizing that there can be beauty and there can be fun within doing the stuff that maybe you don't really want to do. So kind of like I was saying earlier, there's ways and perspectives, ways of looking at things to make them more fun and exciting. And they also get done a lot quicker. I noticed that if I'm cleaning my house and I'm like really not feeling it, and I don't have any music on and I'm really like, I don't want to do this, it takes me a lot longer to clean my house. It takes me a lot longer and I feel really drained from it. But when I turn on really great music, I make some tea, I'm dancing around, I'm singing, I'm having a good time, I'm like shaking my butt. Cause like also shaking your butt can like increase your it can heighten your attitude and your mentality. I know that sounds really weird. I learned that from a Tony Robbins conference and 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 advice. So get up, shake your butt, feel really good about it, and feel really good about anything that you're doing. You can do it before doing anything that you're doing, and it will increase your attitude at least a little bit, right? I also noticed that when your attitude is increased like that and you're feeling a lot better, you'll be able to get your stuff done so much easier. When I'm having a good time in my house cleaning, it gets done so fast. Like this morning, I actually did like a huge overhaul clean because my friend is coming over from Canada for an entire week, like tomorrow. And so I needed to like clean it up super nice and then sit down and also kind of like get some work done. And guys, I can't even believe how early it is still right now. And I went to the gym this morning. There's been so much that I've done. But when you're in a good attitude, my whole point of even saying any of this, my whole point is when you're in that good mindset, that good state, you'd be surprised how quickly you can finish and accomplish some of those tasks when you're in that good emotion and good vibe. And if you notice that you're getting a little bit lower in vibe, turn on some music, again, move around, shake your butt. It'll lighten up the mood and it'll allow you to have more energy to kind of keep going. Okay, so that's my little advice for you. I know it's like, it sounds so simple, right? It sounds so simple. It's like, how can that actually work? Oddly, it does though, okay? So that is my little bit of wisdom. And life is a balance, right? Sometimes we have to do some boring stuff. Sometimes we have to work really hard. And then other times we get to relax and enjoy and everything's in flow, right? So this is you getting back into your flow during the month of August. So that is what I see for you, group number 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading for the month of August. So let's get right into it. Okay, group 2, let's get into your reading. All of our cards are upright. Here we have the Devil, the 3 of Swords, Strength, Judgment, and then the 3 of Wands. First things first, I have to mention we have a lot of major arcana cards in your reading. So the month of August is going to be something that is a pretty major month, and it's going to be a very pivotal kind of month for you is what I'm seeing right off the bat. It's going to be a very pivotal month for my group 2s, okay? Starting off with the Devil next to the 3 of Swords, this is a month where we really are pushing past something that we've been either denying or avoiding. Something that we know that we need to do deep down inside that maybe we're like, but that's gonna like be painful to do that. It's kind of like hard to do that. It's something that's difficult to do, but it looks like you are finally, and you know, it's crazy. We literally have the Strength card right after that. You are finally getting enough strength to push through on something and to actually commit or do something that you've been, you know, it's been on the back of your mind that you know you need to do for the past little while. This can be very different for each of you. So I'm going to just mention a quick few things that I see this being for you. For some of you, this is a toxic relationship that you know you cannot continue going down anymore. Some of you are shedding a toxic relationship and you are kind of building the strength back up to continue your life, you know, the way that you really want to, and you are shedding an old toxic relationship in August. Some of you, if it doesn't deal with a relationship, this deals with a certain habit or something within yourself that you know you want to stop doing. You know that it's blocking you, you know that it's hindering you, you know that it's not good for you. And it looks like in August, we're finally just like coming up to this point of being like, I need to just go in a new direction. I'm like stuttering right now, even like trying to express this energy that I'm getting from this group. But it's going to be a very liberating extremely liberating month for my group 2s, okay? So those of you who chose this pile, this is the month of liberation for you. This is the month of gaining enough strength to go for it and to kind of, you know, begin living the lifestyle that you have been meaning to live. And it looks like you're just literally jumping into the journey. It's almost like what I see you doing in the month of August is, have you ever like stood on the side of like a really cold pool or like in front of the ocean or something, and part of you is just like, either I'm just gonna like jump and run in and just, you know, that way I can't back out, that way I can't chicken out, that way I'm already like in it. Have you ever been in a situation kind of like that? Because if so, that's kind of like what I see as the energy of the month of August, is sort of like standing on the edge of a really cold pool and you're really warm and you don't really want to jump in, but you still want to go in the pool. So you're like, okay, I need to like suck it up and just like go in. So yeah, that's the energy that I'm seeing. And I'm seeing you taking that leap. This strength card is that leap of faith. And this 3 of Wands, like these 3 cards right here are kind of like that jump. And then all of a sudden it's just like, well, we're landing in the cold pool, whether I like it or not at this point, because I've already jumped. And you know, you have that like thought in your head, like as you kind of like take that step and you're like, okay, no, going back now. And then you feel the water and you're just like, okay, it's not that bad. So yeah, I mean, this is that sort of energy for you. And it looks like this has been accumulating for a while. This has been something that has been on your mind for a while, of like, I really need to get my life in order and I need to let this stop bothering me. Like, this is something that we need to get out of our life. This toxic way of thinking, we need to get rid of it. This toxic person, we need to get rid of it. This toxic habit, we need to get rid of it, okay? And the month of August is this month of really honing in on it and focusing on it so that we can let it go. The devil is something that we feel kind of oppressed by or repressed. It could be something that we've repressed, or it could be something that we are kind of addicted to, and it's this illusion of like, oh no, it's okay, just like one more time. Oh no, it's fine, it'll get better. There's goodness in this, you know? The devil's that illusion where we kind of tell ourselves the story of like, no, this is actually really good. Or it's like the illusion where we're like, oh, but I love this thing, you know? So sometimes we can love something, but it's not good for us, right? Sometimes we can love a certain habit, such as eating really bad food. We can love the taste of it. We can love those moments, but at the same time, we know that it's not good for us. So it's that illusion, and the devil represents those types of illusions. Such as being in a toxic relationship, but we're like, I love them, I see the goodness in them, and it's like, but it's like really bad. And we're like, it's gonna get better, and it's like, no, it's not, you know? So that's what the devil represents. So there is something in your life that we know it's gonna be a little bit of a heartbreak for us to kind of let it go. Such as bad food or a bad routine, or such as not going to the gym or putting other things off that we know we should implement into our life. And look at this. You finally have this inner strength. There's this inner strength coming through because the strength card represents inner strength, not necessarily outer strength, but it can kind of represent both at times. But the strength card is like, I know that I need to do it. And a lot of the times, for example, like going to the gym, I use this example a lot just because it's an easy example to use. So, such as going to the gym. Sure, weights are hard to lift, like it's hard to lift weights, but the hardest part about working out is getting there and committing to it. That's the hardest part. So if you can do that, that's the inner strength. That's why the strength card is representing inner strength, because that's actually the most powerful, but also kind of the hardest to grow. But it doesn't have to be, because we can just make a choice, right? Making a choice is something that you do not go back on. You know, it's hard for us to make a choice, but once we make a choice and we actually really stick to it, we build rapport with ourselves, we build trust with ourselves. And so if you want more confidence, which the strength card is also about confidence, that beautiful Leo energy of being very confident in yourself, you need to build self-trust. You need to build rapport with yourself. Like, imagine a friend who's constantly telling you like, oh yeah, we're totally gonna hang out tomorrow, and then they're like, canceled, sorry, like, can we put it off for like next week or something? You would lose that friend so fast. You would lose trust with them. You would probably stop hanging out with them. So why do we do that to ourselves, right? Why do we do that to ourselves, where we constantly put things off, or we tell ourselves like, I'm gonna start this tomorrow and I'm gonna do it, and then all of a sudden we don't? That's us being that type of friend that's constantly like, oh no, sorry, can we cancel? Can we cancel? Can we push it off till tomorrow? Want to do it the next day? What about the next day? You know, they're constantly doing that. And they're constantly going back on their promises. If you want to build the best relationship with yourself, and if you want to start loving yourself, self-love, guess what? You're going to love the friend that commits to those plans and sticks to their promises. That's a friend that you will love, but you're probably going to end up having a lot of resentment and bitterness towards the friend that does not keep their promises and continues to go back on them. That is a friend that you're going to quickly grow to have a bitter taste in your mouth for. So if you want self-love, one of the best advices that I could give you, group number 2, is build rapport with yourself. Trust yourself. The only way to trust yourself, though, is to make a decision, make a choice, and stick to it. Actually stick to it. That is going to build your confidence. It is going to build your trust in yourself. And it's also going to build more self-love, because you're going to start to realize like, hey, I can trust myself. And your subconscious will be able to know like, hey, I can trust myself. And once you begin to trust yourself, your intuition gets so much stronger. You start to open yourself up in many new ways, and you will have a different type of relationship with yourself that's unmatched. It's like unmatched, okay? And there's like so much more self-respect that you get from that. And it's unlike any other. Like it's such a great thing to build. So basically why I'm saying all this is I see that this is that type of month for you. The month of August is that type of month where I see that you are finally looking at all this and you're like, I don't care how much it hurts me to actually step out of this bad habit or step away from this thing and step into what I really want to step into. You are finally gaining that strength in the month of August to do that, to go for it, and to stop these more negative kind of habits. This could also be the way that you talk to yourself, the relationship that you even have with yourself, right? Because sometimes the relationship that we have with ourselves is toxic. And what do we do in that situation? We need to gain strength and grow from that. We need to look at how we are judging certain things and judging ourselves. We need to look at that. There's a such thing as healthy judgment, and there's also a such thing as unhealthy judgment and toxic judgment, right? So it's natural for humans to judge. That's totally natural, but there's a difference between healthy and unhealthy judgment. And in our mind, if we again ask ourselves, would I be friends with this person? Would I like this person? Would I get rid of them in my life, or would I keep them? Look at the way that you are talking to yourself. Look at the promises that you are making with yourself. Which thoughts are making you feel good? Which thoughts are not making you feel good? And if they're not making you feel good, it's time to change our perspective and our judgment. And it can be hard to break habits. I totally understand that. I've been there myself. And you know, it's difficult, and it takes repetition. We have to do it with repetition, and that's what kind of really gets us there. But I see you really kind of like going for something this month, in the month of August, and it is going to propel you forward more than ever, group number 2. And I know I kind of keep going on here about it, but this is something that I feel like, I don't know, it's like essential to kind of talk about it. So my apologies if it's getting a little bit long here, but I really see you working on your mentality. I really see you working on, you know, going for what you really want, and also a vision for the future and having trust in your future. I see the month of August is you building trust with yourself for your future as well, and trusting that you can go after a bigger future and go after a bigger vision for yourself. And I see you really thinking up a new vision for yourself during the month of August. This 3 of Wands is such a beautiful card. Some of you may even have a certain friend in your life that's on the same path as you, that wants the same sort of like bigger vision for themselves. It might be slightly different, but at the same time, it's like all kind of relatable at the same time. And so you might have like somebody really supporting you during the month of August as well. But I am definitely seeing you thinking about a new vision for yourself. And I see you having somebody in your life that's really like supportive about it. They're like, yes, 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 yes. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And I think it's opening up a brand new world for you. You're expanding your horizons. They were limited over here. They were limited in this space over here. And look at you expanding. Some of you may even travel in the month of August, because 3 of Wands can sometimes indicate travel as well. So some of you, there may be certain travel plans, maybe even a short trip, or maybe like a slight getaway, because the 3 of Wands can also indicate that as well. So with that being said, let's get into our other cards that we have for you. Ooh, we have the Justice card. Group 2, you are laying down the law in the month of August in terms of what you really want, in terms of like your self-respect and what you are no longer putting up with and what you are striving towards. You're really laying down the law with that. You are bringing in more balance back into your life, more self-respect. This is a massive shift that you're going through, and some of you, there may even be something that gets justified in the month of August, something that's getting justified in a good way though, not in an unhealthy way. This isn't getting justified like, oh, we're justifying their actions, it's fine. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying justice in the way of like the universe is bringing karma to each of us. You're like, for example, you may be receiving good karma, and maybe somebody who has treated you badly is receiving some kind of like karma for their actions, right? And I see the scales balancing back out. And I also see that you have gone through a lot, and I'm seeing you getting blessed for this. I'm seeing you getting, it's like the whole world is opening, and I'm seeing an opportunity coming through this, like a really nice, it's almost like a miracle or an opportunity or like a surprise that's coming for you because of this commitment to this new path and to this new you and to a healthier lifestyle. I'm seeing this because of this commitment to a healthier lifestyle. Literally, I'm seeing blessings coming into your life. I'm seeing guys, goosebumps. I am hearing the universe congratulating you and wanting to gift you, wanting to send you gifts. And there's going to be certain gifts that you get. Also, some of you have been seeing the number 5 around a lot. It's indicating that you need to make a change. Number 5s indicate change, and just this 5 is really sticking out to me. So if some of you have been seeing the number 5 around a lot, like for example, looking at the clock and it's like, oh, it's 5, and like, no, it's 5 over here, and 5, 5, 5. If you've been seeing that number around a lot, it is the universe telling you that they support and they agree that you need to make a change. So if you've been wondering like, is this the right choice? Am I supposed to make this change? Yes, the universe is like, And if you see 5s around a lot, it is again supporting the idea of change. But the universe, I'm really feeling that the universe is congratulating you, and again, really wanting to give some sort of gift for this change that you are making. There's going to be a gift that comes. And if some of you feel like you're giving up something that is creating a void for you, and you're really scared of leaving it behind because it's almost like a void. It's like, oh, well, that was my comfort. That was my this. That was my that. That's going to be filled. The universe is telling you right now, I'm going to fill that for you. I'm going to fill that for you. Don't worry about it. I'm going to fill it for you. And it's really you honestly filling it for yourself, because at the end of the day, the universe is also just our entire collective consciousness, right? But the universe has its own kind of like energy. It's like that God energy, right? And I'm hearing like God, the universe, is really coming through right now to tell you, hey, I'm going to fill that void. There is something coming along that's more meant for you, and it's going to be filled. So, if we were eating bad food and it's our commitment to leave it behind, I'm seeing that we're going to be filled. There's going to be more satisfaction through sticking to our healthy promises. There's going to be more satisfaction. There's going to be some sort of blessing. There's going to be something coming along. If this is leaving behind a relationship, I'm seeing a much, 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 much better relationship coming. Sometimes we need to like get rid of some stuff in our house in order to make room for new stuff, right? So if we're doing some renovations, or we're wanting a new couch, we're wanting a better couch, a healthier couch, we need to first get rid of our old one. And even though it's going to be a little bit empty for a second, the new one is going to come, but we need to make room for it first, because we cannot bring in something when we still have something blocking that, right? Blocking that space. So I'm definitely seeing you making more space, and it's going to feel kind of wide open. It's going to feel kind of unfamiliar during the month of August, but it's going to be filled. Okay, group number 2, there's a promise here that this is going to be filled, so trust it. This is going to be filled with something that is much better and much more in alignment with you coming up. Okay, so again, I know I'm kind of like rambling here and kind of going on, but oh my gosh, look at this next card. Guys, freaking out right now. Did you hear that in my voice? This, ooh. Look at this card though. The best possible decision card just came up. If you have been wondering if this is the right time to make this decision, if you have been wondering, is this the right decision to make? Do we not have that confirmation coming up in this group right now? Group 2. It's the best possible decision. Okay, let's just read this out. Artemis, goddess of the bow, help me see what must be known. Literally, the universe hath spoken. This is the best possible decision. There is so much support through spirit for this decision, group number 2. There's so much support here. There's so much like this. You're really being filled by this. Like I wish I could express this even more right now, what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing for you. But the best way I could describe it is like, you're going to see it as it comes, and it's going to be such a beautiful surprise for you as you stick to it. But it's really about sticking to your choices. You know what choice you need to make, group number 2. You know what that choice is. You know what it is. And if you stick to it, I am seeing huge blessings, and I'm really seeing like you have enough strength within you. You have enough strength, and this is the month for you. That's why we have all of this coming up. This is like the month for you, okay? So yeah, anyway, let's see what other cards we have. Ooh, we have repairing the veil, forgiveness. I'm seeing you repairing your relationship with yourself. That is what I see in this. I'm seeing you repairing the relationship with yourself, and also repairing your health and your mentality, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your mental health, and even for some of you, your physical health. You're repairing that veil. I'm really seeing healing happening in the month of August because of this decision. I'm seeing so much healing happening. I'm also seeing you being able to let go of your past. We also have watchers, transpersonal. You are really what I see in this is a transformation, and I feel like I'm feeling like your guides are coming through with this card. Oh my goodness. Group 2, your guides are literally watching over you right now. You're meant to make this transition in your life. It's almost like it was part of your blueprint. Like, I don't know if some of you are into that woo-woo stuff, where we have like, you know, we come here with kind of a blueprint of what we want to accomplish and what we want to experience in our life. If you don't know what that is, then it is what it is. But I'm seeing that this was part of your blueprint. This moment in your life is part of your life blueprint. So I don't know, take that how it is, however that kind of correlates to you. But your guides are watching you being like, yep, now is the time. And then we also have guys, what was I talking about? Blueprints? I was just talking about blueprints, and your guides were feeling that. And then look we have skywriting, the fate, something that's written in the stars. That's what this card talks about, something that is fated, that is written in the stars. So this is something that's fated for you. You're fated to make this choice. You're fated to go for this healthier version of you and to step into that. That is part of your story. So even though you might not feel like this isn't part of my identity, this is not who this is, this really, really is. This is part of your story. And again, kind of like I was saying in the beginning, because we had all those major arcana cards, this is a very major, pivotal moment of your life, group number 2. The month of August is an incredibly pivotal month. And it is bringing you where you are meant and fated to go. That's what I was feeling right off the bat when I saw the devil, the judgment, and the strength card. The fact that we had all 3 of those, I was like, this is a very pivotal month for you. And this is something that's literally written in the blueprint of your life. This is so big. This is such a big month for you. And yeah, it's a big month, to say the least. So let's get into our next few cards that we have. We have Ceres. Ceres is an asteroid, and a lot of the times it indicates children. Some of you that may relate to you in some kind of way, like it could be like, think about your children in this, or think about, you know, if you were a child or if you had a child, how would you feel about them going through this situation? That's something that I'm kind of hearing right now. But also with Ceres, this is nurturing your inner child as well. Learning how to nurture yourself, learning how to take care of yourself. You may be very good at taking care of others, but now is the time to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself just like you would If you were your own child, like what would you be telling them in this moment? How would you be caring for them? What advice would you be giving them? We also have the Saturn card. This is, ooh, I'm not even surprised. This is about commitment to something. Saturn is the planet of commitment. What are we going to commit to? What decision are you going to commit to, group number 2, in the month of August? Okay, we have some Capricorn Aquarius energy right here, by the way. Which is all about commitment, and it might be unconventional. You might have to move into something that is unconventional, or it may not be what your friend group is doing. So for example, we may be stuck in a habit because maybe that's all we've known. Maybe that's something that's expected of us in our group of people. But that Aquarius energy is telling you it's okay to stand out. It's okay to be different. It's okay to go on your own path, especially if you've been feeling like it's time to go on your own path, okay? This is time to set up boundaries in your life. This is time to set up a limit. How much are you willing to deal with? What is that limit for you? What are your new boundaries going to be? Okay? Responsibilities as well as coming up. This is time to take responsibility for where you are, your life, and where you're going to go. We also have delays coming up. So I feel like this is something that's been put off for a while. This is something that's been put off for a while, and it, you know deep down, like it's time, it is time, it is time, it is time. Okay. We also have the Neptune card here. So it says inspiration, dreams, spirituality, delusion. So sometimes we can be in an illusion with certain things and we can tell ourselves like, oh, it's fine. Like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But maybe we need to be more realistic with ourselves and realize that we deserve better. We deserve to go after a bigger dream, a bigger life, something that really resonates with us, something that's healthy for us. I'm seeing you getting inspired by something new, a new dream. Some of you may be having a spiritual awakening as well during the month of August. But since we had that 3 of Wands, which is all about kind of like moving forward into a new world where you're expanding your horizons, I'm seeing you coming up with a new dream for your life. Some of you may be doing something on social media or something, just because Neptune can also be very connected to social media or the media in general. So we may be getting inspired through social media, or maybe it correlates to us in some way. But I'm really seeing you making up a new dream for yourself. And then we also have solar eclipse. Solar eclipse, so embracing change, okay? Revelations, courage, determination, connection. I'm not even going to go into this card because those words just said it all. All the words that are literally on this card explain the entire energies for you. And I'm sure you understand exactly how that applies in this reading because it's what we've been talking about this entire time. So again, this is about embracing change, revelations, courage, determination, connection, okay? This is you connecting to what you're meant to be connected to. This is you also being comfortable severing certain connections, severing comforts. You know, we might feel comfortable living our old way of life, but maybe it's time for us to sever those connections and kind of see what is really meant for us versus what is not. So let's go ahead and shuffle these cards to get any last couple cards. And we also have an advice card right after this, but let's see. I also want to mention that this card is connected to Pisces. This is Aquarius and Capricorn energy. And we also have a little bit of Leo and Cancer energy with the solar eclipse. So those are the kind of zodiac signs that I see may be the most prominent. These may be a reflection of your own zodiac signs or somebody that you know. So again, we have Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, and then Leo and Cancer. Those could be some prominent zodiac signs in your life. We have sacred sexuality. So this is about respecting yourself, your creativity, and realizing that you are sacred. Your energy is sacred. That's what this card represents. Your energy is sacred. Your body is a temple. Treat your body as a temple. This is a message coming through, I believe, from your guides from the universe. Your body, my love, is a temple. So take care of it as you would a temple. It is sacred. Your energy, your creativity, all of your energy is sacred. Sacred sexuality. This is us realizing our own sacredness, okay? Let's see what else we have. We also have power. The month of August is about you stepping into your power, my love. Stepping into your ultimate power, your potential, realizing your potential, being able to speak what's truly on your mind, and realizing that I want more self-respect. I want to treat myself as a sacred being. I want to take care of myself on a sacred level. So the month of August is all of these sort of realizations here. So I'm going to restart my camera really quick just because it's about to cut out. It cuts out every 30 minutes. So I'm just going to restart that, and then we're going to talk about your advice card for the month of August. Okay, we are back. So our advice card for my beautiful group 2s, we have okay, so this says abundance. Yeah, abundance. True abundance, my love, is not just about money. True abundance is about recognizing with grace and humility what has already been sent your way. Abundant in life, abundant in love, abundant in movement, abundant in the almond milk latte your coworker brought you this morning. Start to appreciate the ways in which you are already so looked after. Start to build wealth in the little things, and you will find the rest comes easy. So if you feel like you're losing something or letting go of something in the month of August that you really liked, this card is talking about that abundance exists everywhere. Even if you might feel void because you're leaving something behind, or you're leaving behind an old lifestyle, or whatever the case may be, if you feel like you're leaving behind something, this card is a reminder that abundance exists everywhere. Just because we let something go doesn't mean that we are lacking. We can fill that void with realizing that abundance exists everywhere, my love. Abundance exists everywhere. Look outside, there's like tons of grass. Well, depending where you live, right? But there's tons of grass in the world. There's tons of flowers in the world. There's tons of ocean in the world. There's tons of abundance everywhere. You are loved, my love. I love you. Okay, so like even if you're feeling like you don't have a lot of people in your life right now, although I hope you do, I hope you have that support, but even if not, I love you so much, okay? I'm sending you so much love even through this video. I love you for being here. I love you for being on this planet, right? Like, you are so beautiful, my love, and you deserve the best of the best, okay? So look at the amount of abundance in this world. This is time to treat yourself like a temple with more respect this month. And I feel like that's something you've been realizing for yourself. And I really see you going towards much more expanding your horizons and leaving behind whatever's been really holding you back lately. So my love, that is what we have for you. Group number 2. Hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Woo, okay, so group 3, this is your part of the August prediction. So with that being said, let's just get right into your reading. Okay, so group number 3, here's what we have for you. We start off with the 10 of Cups, then we have the 2 of Cups being reversed, we have the Knight of Swords, the Empress, and then the Hermit right here. So what I'm seeing for you for the month of August, when we start off with the 10 of Cups, this is such a positive card, and it can indicate that we're spending a lot more time with friends, with family, with people, and it can indicate that our relationships are going really well, or that our fulfillment even just feels very nice, right? So this is a lot of growth, and I feel like you've been going through a lot of growth lately, and I feel like this is time for you to kind of reap the benefits of that and just enjoy the people that you're around and enjoy who you have in your life. The 10 of Cups is definitely a card of enjoying the people that you have in your life and seeing them a lot more. There could be something though where maybe you and somebody else don't see eye to eye on something, with this 2 of Cups being reversed. This could either be within yourself and maybe kind of having like a debate or like a choice within yourself, because the 2 of Cups can indicate an internal sort of choice and maybe wondering like, okay, what's the best one? I don't see eye to eye. I can have reasons for both sides. But this can also indicate that there's somebody in our life where maybe we have to make an important decision with them, or maybe we're asking for advice, or maybe they just have a difference in opinion than us. I don't think it's going to be like insanely significant, but I think it's going to be something where we're questioning, okay, which choice do I make? Because with this Knight of Swords as well, I feel like you're going to be wondering about a choice. Like, ooh, which direction should I go in? And it's almost like for you, group number 3, when we look at this card and we can see like these other shadow selves that he has, it's almost as if you have like two people on either shoulder, kind of like how they animate in some films, and you have one that's telling you like, oh, totally do that, that sounds great, and then one that's like, no, don't do that. And so you're like, I could do either or, like which one is the best option, which way do I go? So I do feel like there's some sort of interesting choice in the month of August. Maybe we're like torn between two different things. Maybe we feel like, ooh, is it this or is it that? Like there's something going on where I feel like you have multiple options, but there's not really one that outweighs the other. It's kind of like, I could go either way. Which one is it? I don't know. And it's interesting that on the Empress card, we also have the 3-person type of situation happening here. So again, I'm feeling like this part of you where we're sort of needing to sort out which direction that we want to go in, whatever this choice may be. This is a very interesting sort of choice, and I feel like it's really up to your energy and what direction that you want to take it in, which is really interesting. So I'm really curious what you're going through right now, group number 3. And it's also interesting that you're group number 3 and we have this number 3 showing up a lot in the imagery that we have over here. I also see a lot of you kind of taking time for yourself and maybe doing some inward reflection by the end of the month to really think about and start to imagine like all the different scenarios or options that you have in front of you, because I feel like my group 3s, the month of August is really this focus on this decision. I feel like internally, when it comes to yourself, like if it was just solely your decision, I feel like you would kind of have an idea of what you want. But I feel like there's another person in your life that maybe brings up another aspect or another point or another perspective that makes you kind of question like, okay, should I do what they're thinking or should I do what I'm thinking? Or how do we compromise this? So some of you may even be in a relationship and maybe you guys are debating like, ooh, where should we move? Or maybe you guys are in a relationship and it's like, what should we do with this? Or where should we go on vacation? Like, I don't know. It's just something where there's a choice. And I do feel like it has to do with somebody else in your life, or maybe they're a part of it, or maybe their opinion just very much matters to you. But it does look like there's that choice, and it kind of makes you start to think about these different scenarios, and you can see him and his shadow selves where he hasn't really gone in this direction or this direction, but they are available, they're there. It's something that is definitely an option. So we're kind of debating it. So anyway, that's my point. It looks like there's options. The Empress card is letting me know that I really feel like all the options have a good outcome for you, and all of them would be like something to consider. So part of you is like, okay, should I just do that or should I do that? And I feel like that's kind of what makes this choice a little bit more difficult, because it looks like you're thriving kind of no matter what. But the Empress card is such a beautiful card in regards to the fact that I also think the month of August for you is going to be one where you're able to relax a lot more and feel a lot more in alignment and abundant. I feel like a lot of you feel as if you're getting caught up, especially by the end of the month of August. It's like, oh, I have a lot under my belt. I feel really caught up. I feel like I have extra time. And some of you have extra time to really start to pour into things that you truly want to do, things that really are of enjoyment for you, and it doesn't feel like we're scrunched for time. The Empress is one where I'm feeling like most of you listening to this group will just feel very abundant, especially when it comes to your time and your resources and what you have. So some of you may also be saving more money during the month of August, and you may feel more abundant because of that. The Empress can also indicate that maybe we are brewing up a new idea and we're excited for something to be released, and maybe we're thinking about new things and ready to grow in new ways. We're ready to expand, we're ready to grow. And just the overall energy, the fact that we have the Empress and 10 of Cups showing up in your reading, I think the overall energy of August for you, group number 3, is one that feels really good. I mean, other than this choice, but I see this being supported by a lot of good emotions and a lot of good feelings. And so I feel like this is something that's going to be figured out for you no matter what. And it's not going to be something that's like super in your face to worry about. And then again, that Hermit card, some of you are taking more time for yourself by the end of the month to really just relax, retreat, and maybe even do some soul searching to find out, okay, what what about this option? Like, what choice do I need to make here? And then the Hermit card is that soul searching kind of energy. So some of you are kind of just going within and taking some time to really reflect and think about and imagine your life maybe in these different scenarios so that you can kind of figure out which one you really belong in and where you really want to end up and go. Some of you, the Empress can also indicate pregnancies and like childbirth and things like that. So some of you may have a family member, for example, that is having a baby or recently had a baby. Some of you maybe even know somebody that's pregnant, or some of you may also be pregnant yourselves, just depending on your life. But the Empress can symbolize pregnancies and births, or you may even hear news that like somebody in your family is pregnant or something. It can indicate things like that. So just wanted to point that out for those of you that will be relevant for. But let's get into our next few cards. We also have the card here of trust. So this is about really learning to trust yourself. To trust yourself and to maybe also have more trust in other people too. Maybe we're learning how to really trust others, how to listen to their opinion, how to be open to that, and how to also trust ourselves and what our own gut is telling us. So I think the month of August is really sorting out the trust that you have with yourself and the trust that you have maybe with another person in your life, and sort of just really starting to feel that out, finding the good balance in that. So I'm seeing that being a prominent thing here. We also have the card of magical powers. I almost said magical flowers. Some of you, this phoenix rising through the ashes type of energy, some of you feel like you've just been reborn, or that you're entering a new phase of your life. And this is a more powerful phase of your life, especially when it comes to this choice that you're making. This is a much more powerful stage of your life that you're entering. I think that there's certain things that you have to look forward to in your future, to where you're really stepping up into like a newer version of yourself. I think that you're almost going to awaken, some of you are awakening new skills and talents. Some of you are even awakening your inner strength. Some of you are awakening your inner fire. Some of you are awakening where you're really meant to be in your life and becoming a lot more powerful and a lot more strong and confident in who you are, because there's a lot of like bigger things that are coming for you is what I'm feeling like, group number 3. There's a lot of bigger things that are coming. A huge focus for you though is relationships, because of all the kind of relationship cards that we have, especially right here, and the Empress is a little bit like that too. Some of you may also be dealing with an air sign person in your life, because the Knight of Swords can indicate air sign people. So this could be somebody who's either Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra in your life. So if you know any of those people, some of you may be sort of, going through something with a person like that. I'm not saying a bad thing, but I'm just seeing like deeper discussions. I'm also seeing deeper planning with somebody like that, or deeper talks, deeper planning. Deeper talks, getting to know each other more, talking about something on a deeper level, getting to a place of understanding with somebody, making like a choice with somebody even, maybe in your future there. So let's go ahead and see our next few cards that we have for you, group number 3. So we have Root Girl, the disowned self. Some of you may be uprooting your life in some way. So maybe that has to deal with this choice. Some of you may be uprooting your life, or finding out where you want to root yourself, where you want to commit to. And maybe that's why this choice is a little bit more heavy, is because we need to figure out, where am I actually going to commit to? Maybe we're also needing to let go of certain things, the disowned self. Maybe we're needing to let go of certain habits as well, certain patterns, certain routines, certain lifestyles, in order to step into this new phase. Because a lot of you, again, I'm feeling like you're rising up to a new stage of your life. You're rising up. But in order to rise up, we may need to let certain aspects of ourselves go. We may need to admit when we're wrong. We may need to admit defeat sometimes, although there's always a way to make things happen, or there's always a way to at least enjoy our moments, right? But I'm really seeing you kind of letting go of a certain aspect of yourself, getting ready to enter a new stage of your life. Okay, the next card that we have Jeweled Web, Connectivity. This is time. This is a month where I think you're getting deeper connected to certain people in your life. And it may feel a little interesting, like getting closer with certain people, getting deeper connected with them, wanting to respect their wishes and their desires versus also your own, right? So that's an interesting kind of thing to kind of balance out, I think, in August is what I'm seeing. Another card we have is Lost Compass, getting back to integrity. So honoring yourself, especially if we feel lost about what is the choice, what is the right choice for me, what is the right direction. So some of you are really lost on the direction. Again, this could even be internal. This doesn't have to deal with a relationship. This could also be internal. Maybe we feel like a little bit lost, or we're wondering, what direction do I go in? Do I go north, east, south, west? Where do I go? So some of you are questioning those things. And this is about you getting back to integrity. What do you really want? What does your heart and soul really want, and what does it tell you? How can we connect the dots? How can we connect the dots so that we can get to that destination? Ooh, that's a huge thing I'm seeing in the connectivity card. How can we connect the dots? How can we build that web to connect us to where we want to go? How can we be webbed in? How can we have something that's all encompassing to where we feel great, and we also know that we're making the right choice, and we also feel connected to everything else, and we're being all encompassing. We're being all encompassing rather than being a lost compass, rather than letting somebody lose out, or rather than, all that. How can we be more connected and be all encompassing? How can we encompass all directions, all different things? We can root ourselves in the proper area and unroot all the things that no longer work for us. Or if there's parts of yourself that no longer worked for you, but now you want to be more all-encompassing and you're wanting to revive certain things in your life, maybe that's another aspect of this too. Part of yourself that maybe you've forgotten about, or you disowned, or you let go of. Maybe part of you wants to connect back to the things that you've let go of, right? And so maybe we're wanting to be more all-encompassing again. Maybe we're wanting to encompass ourselves more, okay? So that's another aspect that I'm seeing in here, is wanting to be more all-encompassing, being inclusive. And I know this reading might seem like it's kind of all over the place. You might be like, okay, but what choice am I supposed to make? Which direction am I supposed to go in? But I feel like the reading is showing up this way because it's showing the energy of how kind of like jumbled it might be right now. And what I'm seeing is that the solution for you, what I can tell you about the solution for you, is it's going to be something that's all-encompassing, but it's going to be something that's in integrity with yourself. It's going to be in integrity with yourself, but it's also not disrespectful for other people, nor is it disrespecting any aspect of yourself either. This is something that's all-encompassing, but it's still in integrity for you, if that makes sense. So your choice is leading towards that outcome. So hopefully that makes sense. The next few cards that we have here, we have the Kazemi. So in the heart, in the center, this is when the sun gets so close to another planet that it tends to kind of overpower the planet, and we can't even see it in the sky because it's just like it's all encompassed by the sun. It's like it's right in the heart of it. So an interesting thing is, I think the major kind of things that you're going through in life right now are so big that when it comes to ourselves and what we want, it's almost like, can I even see what I want? Do I even know what I want? Because we kind of lose that light compared to the other things that we're going through. It's like there's more intensity over there. It's like we're in the heart of it. When we're in the heat of something, it can be hard to kind of find our direction. But I'm seeing you in the month of August really finding your direction and where you want to go. And maybe that's why we have this soul searching card coming up too, is because we're really starting to sort out what direction we're actually going in. Okay, I'm sorry if this reading seems all over the place, but that's kind of just the energy of what we have in August. Is it's kind of just like figuring it out, sorting it out, and allowing our light to shine, but not dimming others in the process. That is the best quote that I can give you for the month of August to encompass this whole reading. This is about shining your light, but not dimming others in the process. Okay? That is what this is about. That is going to lead you to the correct choice. That is going to help you figure out who you are, what you're meant to do, and where you're meant to go. Is shining your light, but not dimming others in the process. Okay. We also have lunar eclipse right here. So this is releasing the past, breakthroughs, pushing limitations, and healing. So for some of you, this may be a time to release your old self, because again, you're up-leveling, you're phoenix rising through the ashes type of thing. This is time for you to shine again. This is time for you to own the biggest part of yourself, step up into a new version of you that's even higher than anywhere you've ever been before. I really think with this magical flowers, oh my goodness, I keep wanting to say magical flowers, okay? But the phoenix rising through the ashes, imagine that this phoenix is like bigger, it's greater than it's ever been before. Maybe we're used to being the ashes, or maybe we're used to being like a phoenix that was pretty small before and didn't really go for much, or just an average, phoenix. The phoenix, it's going through a whole rebirth. So it's almost like you're going through this rebirth and you're becoming bigger than you've ever been before. You're pushing limitations, you're healing, you're releasing the past, and you're having this breakthrough, this huge breakthrough in the month of August, where you're stepping into a much bigger, much more powerful, much more higher version of yourself that you haven't even stepped into before. I'm also going to change my camera battery really quick because it's about to die, so I will be right back. Okay guys, I am back. The battery is changed. I'm almost knocking around my camera here. Okay, we also have the 5th house, which is connected to Leo and the sun. And this says, this is the house of self-expression and the pleasure of showing who we truly are. Here we see one's creativity and artistic vision, how we like to have fun, playfulness, pleasure, games of chance, love affairs, and also children. So this is a month, I think, where you are coming into your light, but again, not overpowering anybody else, but you're shining your light. You're not afraid to shine your light. I really think it's going to be important for you not to be afraid to express yourself, not being afraid to express what you most want, but also knowing that it doesn't have to dim other people's light in the process. It doesn't have to do that, right? We can express things in ways where it doesn't dim other people in the process, and we still uplift others, but we're still able to shine our light, shine what we want, express our authenticity, and express our truth, and step into our power without overpowering others. We also have Aquarius coming up, so we have a lot of Leo energy, Aquarian energy, Leo with the Kazemi as well. Lunar eclipse is some Cancer and Leo energy that we have here. So yeah, mostly Leo and Aquarius energy that we have as our most prominent. But the Aquarius energy, this is kind of maybe going against the grain of what's normal. There could be certain things in your life where maybe we're making choices that aren't usually like societally maybe correct, It might not be something that's super common. You may be doing or making a choice that's not so common, or going for the less traveled road. So some of you may be doing that during the month of August, or making some radical changes in some type of way with this Aquarius energy. Okay, so now let's get into our other oracle cards, and then we're also going to get a little advice card from Spirit. So let's see. Group 3. What else is group 3 going through in August? We have the Alchemist. So you are learning how to transform energy. You're also learning how to take something that's kind of like meh and make it something great. So you're also learning how to rise up. When you used to see yourself maybe as lead, it's now becoming gold. You're becoming gold. You're the phoenix rising through the ashes. You are becoming something much more. The month of August is really creating this energy where you are stepping up into more. You may also be taking situations that are kind of like meh, and you're alchemizing it to be like, yes, this is great. So you're really beginning to alchemize your life, taking stuff that might have been like, and it's all of a sudden going to become great. We also have the release card coming up. So some of you may also be going through a time of releasing your old self, releasing past limitations, releasing old mindsets, releasing your emotions or your thoughts that you've been holding back. I'm seeing just a big release, and also a leap of faith, because this frog jumping is giving me leap of faith type of energy. So we may be taking a chance on something. We may be acting on a whim. We may be like, I'm making this choice rather than just thinking about it constantly for the rest of my life, you know? Because sometimes, you know, choices can be hard, but choices also happen in an instant. But it may take us a while to debate that choice in the beginning. But I'm seeing in the month of August, there's going to be this choice that happens where we're just leaping for it. We're just like, okay, I need to make a decision. I'm making it, and like, bam, that's it. And you're going for it, and you're releasing anything that's been holding you back from this choice. So I'm really seeing a choice being finally made in the month of August and taking a leap towards it. So that is a big thing that I'm seeing there. And then our last card, which is our little advice card here, we have resourcefulness. Ooh, I love that. So everything you need is already within you. Don't doubt it, my love. You are more capable, more equipped, more looked after than you can ever imagine. What would you do today, right now, in this very moment, if you knew you could only succeed? There is no such thing as failure, dear one. You can only grow, you can only redirect, so forget about failure and ask yourself instead, can you appreciate even more the resourceful being that you are? Oh, that was so powerful, and I feel like that fit in so well. So we could really make any outcome a great outcome, and the Empress was kind of alluding to that message as well. We could really create the best outcome in any scenario. So maybe that's also why it's hard to make a certain choice, because we're like, well, I could make it great no matter what. It has its pros and cons no matter what. So at the end of the day, what do you really want? What do you really want, group number 3? And it's about being resourceful. You can make anything happen. So don't be worried about like, oh, which is the most practical. This is really a message coming through about you can make anything happen. So which one do you want to happen? Okay. So that is what we have for you, group number 3. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so my beautiful group number 4s, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be a reading, so let's get right into it. Okay, so group number 4. This is an interesting kind of combination of cards that we have. So we have the 5 of Pentacles being reversed, the 7 of Wands being reversed, the 5 of Cups being reversed, then we have the Knight of Pentacles and also the 2 of Swords upright. What I'm seeing for you is this energy in the month of August of overcoming is kind of the first word that I have coming to my head. Overcoming, especially because it seems like in the past, in the previous like maybe little while, it's been hard to maybe stay on top of certain things. It's been hard to keep up with maybe the amount of bills that we have, or maybe the amount of like responsibilities that we have, or other things, right? The 7 of Wands, when it's reversed, can indicate that we've been a little bit sort of in this kind of a shock mode for the past maybe a little while, where it seems like we're trying to get on top of things. We're trying to get on top of things, and we're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Can I get on top of it? Can I get on top of it? And so that's kind of the energy that we have going into the month of August. But I'm seeing the month of August being very transformative for you, especially in the sense of getting on top of what you need to get on top of. With the 5 of Pentacles being reversed, it can indicate that we've been going a little bit through a period of like a harder time where maybe our resources were stretched a little thin. And then the 7 of Wands also indicates that, because it's kind of like we are kind of fighting to get to the top. And then the 5 of Cups being reversed indicates that we may be kind of focused on the lack that we currently have, or we may be focused a little bit more on the kind of like circumstances that we don't really want in our life right now. We've been a little bit too focused on that, but the fact that it's reversed here indicates that this is the ending of that. We're at the ending of that cycle in the month of August, and you're finally leaving that behind and, you know, going across the bridge to new waters, to new land. It's finally time for us. It's like we're fed up. We've like had enough of feeling sorry for ourselves, or we've had enough of climbing and living this way. It's like we're finally like putting our foot down. It's like, I don't want to live that way anymore. Like, I need to figure this shit out. And I also feel like there's a lot of opportunities coming your way in the month of August that are really going to help you get on top of things and make you feel like you're finally, getting on top of your responsibilities. And all of a sudden it's like there is ways and means of making these things happen. The Knight of Pentacles indicates that things maybe are a little bit slow moving, but they're very sure and solid. It's a very sure and solid thing. And the Knight of Pentacles is very on top of his stuff, and he finally, like, he feels good, like he feels on top. He feels confident. So I see that you are getting on top of all of your responsibilities, and you're getting on top of everything that you need. And I'm seeing this new wave of confidence coming in. And I'm specifically hearing the 18th of August is going to be some sort of significant time for most of you. Again, it is a general reading, so I don't usually like putting very specific dates on things because it is a general reading. But I feel like for most of you, sometime at least between the 15th and the 22nd, maybe 15th and 25th, specifically August 18th, though, seems like a pretty significant date for a lot of you in terms of getting very sure of yourself and very sure of your direction, and also having this sense of surety and security beneath your belt, where you feel really calm, collected, you have a lot of willpower, determination, and you finally see the outcome that you want, and it feels feasible to you. It feels possible to you. I think that there's almost like doorways opening up for you where your goals are now within reach, and you see how possible they are, and it's really just opening up a new doorway for you, and it's feeling really good. And we're figuring out how to get where we need to go, and it's like this determined energy, to say the least. The fact that we have double fives here shows that there's been maybe a lot of change or a lot of unexpected things happening in our life lately. So group number 4, if you've had a lot of kind of unexpected stuff come up, where maybe it's unexpected responsibilities that we need to take care of, maybe it's unexpected bills that we need to take care of, all kinds of stuff like that. If that's been happening to you lately, the month of August is the month where I feel like you are really getting on top of that, and it finally feels like we're saving our money again, we're saving our resources, and we have that security blanket to then rely on. The Two of Swords as our end of August kind of card here, I feel like we may be in a little bit of protection mode still, because we might be like, oh, but when is the next time going to happen? But I really don't see it happening. I see this really great energy, but I do see you being a little bit in protection mode, being like, okay, but like, when is it going to all of a sudden, when is shit going to hit the fan again? But what I can see in this is that it's not going to. There's a really strong foundation that's being laid out, especially in the month of August for you, that is much more reliable. You know, it's good to have caution, right? Like, caution's not a bad thing, but I am definitely hearing a message from the universe being like, just stick to this energy, because this is the energy that's going to get you through, this very determined energy where we're a lot more aware and there's a lot more reliability and a lot more security. So I definitely see you creating that for yourself during the month of August, group number 4. And then the next card that we have divine guidance coming through. So a lot of you, this is actually what you're going through was almost like meant for you. It was meant to teach you something, and it was also meant to teach you something about responsibility and money. Because I think the universe wants you to step up to a new level of responsibility and a new level of maturity, a new level of confidence, a new level of willpower, and a whole new energy. It's much more reliable and solid. The universe really, and your guides want you to step up into that energy. So they're saying that what you're going through right now and what you've been through is actually teaching you what you need to know in order to step up into the next highest version of yourself, because this is teaching you to take responsibility and take action when you need to. This is teaching you how to have that undying strength and willpower, and the universe wants you to become aware of your strength. An interesting thing. You might be like, oh, well, I could have been aware of it in a different way. But like, the universe wanted you to become aware of your strength, group number 4. And this was the way of you becoming aware of that strength in a way that's really going to serve you a lot in the future. So this card says, whispers from the beings who shine, let their message be clear and kind. So what they're telling you right now is like, they got your back. Like, there is nothing to worry about. You are safe and secure, but take this time of learning. Otherwise, this time is going to continue forward. So take this time to learn, to step up into this very strong version of yourself, and that's going to be what makes you overcome all of this. You stepping into this position is going to make you overcome all of this, because once we get lazy with things, or once we feel like, oh, it's too much, I can't do it, right when we get into that mindset, that's going to come back. Because that energy, like, it's always there. And if we let ourselves sink down to that, not saying that like you've let yourself like sink down to that or anything, but every new height that we get ourselves to, there's always going to be certain challenges on that level, right? There's always going to be challenges. Life always has that. We don't get rid of that, right? Everyone has challenges. But this is helping you reach that next height, because if there's certain things that you want in life, if you want to make a certain amount of money, if you want to do anything, there's certain lessons and different responsibilities that we have to learn in order to step up into that energy. There is, no matter what. We can't avoid it. We can't learn it without experiencing it. So this experience that you just went through, it was the universe's way of teaching you how to step up to the next highest version of you, even if you don't see it at this time. That's why we have this divine guidance coming through. Your guides are telling you that this was very meant to happen. And they're also, they're not sorry, but they're congratulating you. Okay. So they're like, we're glad you went through this. This was meant to be, and you'll thank us later as you go through life, and you're much stronger because of it. So there's that sort of energy, and they're almost using a little bit of a humor right now. So don't take it the wrong way, but they're almost like using a little bit of humor, being like, thank us later, you'll thank us later. Like, there's that sort of humor along with it, because they can see the bigger picture. They can kind of see that everything's been okay, even if we're in the middle of it and we're like, what the hell? You know, like, we might be feeling like like the boat is about to sink or something, but your guides have been watching you being like, yeah, you got this, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you'll thank us later. You know, so there's that kind of energy that's behind there. And also, I just have to say, group number 4, your guides are really funny. They have a funny energy. They're humorous, and they're also telling you, okay, there's another message from them. So they're telling you right now, have a little bit more fun with life. That's why they're humorous. That's why they're being humorous with you right now. Okay. So even if you're taking this humor and you're being like, what the frick? Like, why are you being funny about this? They're being funny about it because they're telling you that it's okay to be more fun with life. As long as you still take it seriously, you can have fun with it. You don't need to take it too seriously, though, where we're just like having a boring life and we're just like, you know, we don't need to become that. So they're being funny with you right now, because they're like, it's okay to have humor. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to have fun with this. And they know that you have that within you. You have a nice humor, group number 4. Like, there's a funniness within you that wants to come out. Like a part of you that wants to have more fun with life, that wants to kind of, you know, roll with the punches in a more funny, fun type of way. All of a sudden I'm being shown an image of SpongeBob for some reason, and SpongeBob and Squidward. So if we put SpongeBob and Squidward in a difficult situation, so for example, they both work at the Krusty Krab, right? And if you guys haven't seen SpongeBob, this is going to sound, you're not going to understand me, but hopefully you have. Hopefully you know who these characters are. But essentially, SpongeBob is this happy-go-lucky guy. Squidward is this like kind of like meh kind of guy. That's literally what he sounds like. And they both work at the Krusty Krab, which is like a restaurant. And whenever there's an issue or a problem, SpongeBob has this attitude where he's like, I got this, like, woo! And then Squidward's like, we don't got this, like, meh, right? And what I'm seeing, your guides are showing me that, because they're like, you have both of those within you. Those two characters reflect two sides that are always within all of us, right? So they're just letting you know right now, and they want to let you know, it's like you can roll with the punches in a fun way. You can roll with the punches in a SpongeBob type of way, which might not seem like practical to some people, but at the same time, they're also saying there's ways of being that way where it's still realistic, but it's also still better for you, because you're able to lighten your own mood, and you're able to roll with things a lot easier, okay? So they're just saying, have a bit more, be easier on yourself. They're like, you can go easier on yourself. You don't have to be too hard, but you are learning it really quickly because of this. You're learning your lessons, okay? Which is great, but again, it was just a little reminder of like, you can have fun with it, okay? The next card that we have is creativity. You can, again, we have a card that's kind of indicating you can have fun with it, right? So like Bob Ross, his famous quote is, there's no such thing as mistakes, just happy accidents. So anytime we make a mistake, let's just look at it as a happy accident. So if you have any fears, for example, fears of like, doing certain things, fears of going on a date because we're like, oh my God, I don't want to like choke on my burger or something, or like whatever, you know. In those situations, we can just have fun with it. Like, even if that does happen, just be, you can have fun with it, right? So there's ways of being creative with your life. And I really think in the month of August, you're getting more creative with your life. I see you livening up your life, and I see you getting more creative when it comes to how you make money, or how you save money, or how you spend money and whatnot. I'm seeing you getting a lot more creative in these areas, and I'm seeing you just getting a lot more creative in general during the month of August. And it's really gonna help you balance yourself back out. It's gonna help you balance yourself mentally, which is going to inevitably balance you out more emotionally. And when we're balanced out mentally and emotionally, our actions and our reality begins to balance out as well. Inevitably, it just does. So I'm definitely seeing, again, a lot more of that balance coming out for you. The next few cards that we have the card of the Wall, which is obstacles. Like, I'm not even surprised that that's coming up. So what I'm really seeing you getting over in the month of August were those obstacles. You're getting the key to finally pass through and get to this Knight of Pentacles area where things are a lot more stable and a lot more reliable. Again, I still feel like you're a little bit cautious with that Two of Swords energy, but there's a lot more surety as you pass over this obstacle. And I'm also hearing that your obstacles are here to make you stronger, okay? Your obstacles are here to make you stronger. Use your creativity, have fun with them, kind of like a video game. Like, imagine a video game where everything's easy and you just get everything you want and you just go through it and you're like, oh, I'm done, pass the level, ha, ha, ha. The obstacles in a video game are what make it fun. Otherwise, who would put obstacles in a video game if obstacles didn't make things more interesting? Life is interesting because of the challenges that it has, because of the obstacles that it has. We would get bored out of our mind playing a video game that didn't have obstacles. So your guides are like, no, have fun with this again. That's why, again, they're telling you to have more fun. Like, sure, life is not necessarily a video game, but in a way, there's a lot of correlations. These obstacles, we can have fun with them. We can go through them and be like, look at how I'm going to overcome this. How am I going to do it? Let's do it. Like, we could go with it with that type of energy, and it's going to be a lot more fun to get through it. We're going to learn things a lot quicker, and our emotional and mental state will be a lot more balanced throughout it if we can learn to have a bit more fun through the obstacles and through the walls. Okay, and then we have the Netcaster. So preparations come to fruition. Ooh, so things that you've been preparing for, things that you've been hoping for in your life are going to start sprouting, which is again why we have that Knight of Pentacles. They're beginning to sprout. So things that you've been hoping for, maybe it's money that you've been really hoping for. Maybe you've been hoping for more of that. Things that you've been working for, the preparations, things that you've been preparing for, those are coming to fruition. And I don't mean the negative things that you're preparing for. I mean the good things that you're preparing for, okay? So it's time to get ready for the things that you do want in your life, because I'm really seeing those beginning their journey of coming to fruition in your life in August. But I don't think you're getting like the whole bowl of fruit quite yet. It's accumulating though in the month of August. You are casting your net and you're getting fish back now. And you're like, ooh, okay, there's progress. But there's more for you. There's more for you. Not necessarily more challenge, but there's more coming that you are meant to achieve and that you're meant to get to. Just so you know, I'm seeing there's a lot more for you to achieve. So don't give up. Don't stop moving forward, group number 4, because there's so much more coming for you. There's so much more coming for you. And then we also have the Vanishing Mirror, ego sublimation. So I'm really seeing your guides coming through being like, you can shatter your old self-image. This is time to shatter your old self-image. So how you used to see yourself. I feel like some of you used to have a few different kind of maybe more negative ways of viewing yourself, of like, I'm not good enough, or like things like that. And what I'm seeing here is that the month of August is about shattering your old perspective of yourself and realizing that you are so much more than that. You've put up a wall of limitation on yourself by viewing yourself a certain way. That is being broken apart. It's being proven wrong in the month of August, because look at this Knight of Pentacles. You are being proven wrong. All those ways that you used to view yourself, those are being proven wrong, because you are so much more is what I'm really hearing. You're a creative being. We also have the number 6 popping up a lot because we have the 33 and we have the 42. Those both equal a number 6 in numerology. So the 6s are about getting back in harmony. And they're also a very equal reflection because you can take that number and split it into 2. It's a very equal reflection. So this is a month where you're meant to see yourself as you really are. But I feel like you're only getting a glimpse because there's so much more. The thing is there's so much more. I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that from your guides. There's so much more to you. There is so much more that you don't see yet. It's being revealed though. You're figuring it out. It's coming in, okay? So let's see the other cards that we have here. We have the 5, 6, 7, 8th house here with Pluto and well, that could have gave it away. Pluto and Scorpio, duh. 8th house. Okay, so this is the house of life's enigmas, transformation, the hidden, sexuality, and death. Here is where we can see someone else's property and money, real estate, inheritance, and investments. We can also see our deepest unrevealed wishes as well as fears, occultism, and esotericism. Esotericism, not egocentrism. But what I'm seeing here is I think that there's an energy of comparison where you've been comparing yourself to other people and thinking like, well, they already made it to that, therefore I can't do it anymore. They already did it. Like, oh, and then this person got that, but I didn't get it. How did they get it, but I didn't get it? Like all these things. I feel like there've been these things going through your mind lately of comparison. And the 8th house is like, no, it's time to cut that out. It's time to end it and it's time to transform. It is time for you to come out of your cocoon and be that butterfly as well. It's almost like you've been a caterpillar watching all these people become butterflies and you're like, why not me? Why not me? But now's your time. Now is your time. August is the time, my loves, to go through your transformation, to become, in that cocoon and then all of a sudden break out of it. And, that's been the wall that's been in your way. It's like you've been in your cocoon and you're seeing the wall and you're seeing all that limitation and you're like, oh, I'm not a butterfly. I'm not a butterfly. I'm not a butterfly. Look at all those ones out there. Those are butterflies. And it's like, no, they went through the same stage as you too. They also went through the cocoon stage and they had to break through it too. This is now your time to break through the wall. This is now your time to break through the cocoon and spread your wings. That is this transformation because this card is all about that metamorphosis. I transform. The month of August for you, my love, group number 4, is the transformation month. We also have the card of conjunction. So this is about unity, autonomy, individuation. So what I'm seeing is you realizing that you're just the same and you have the same potentials as everybody else. We have inner self, self-motivation, concentration, personal interest. Okay, so now it's time to self-motivation. It is time to be your biggest cheerleader. It is time to be your biggest supporter and go for the things that you want to get to. The month of August is all about that. It is about you feeding yourself all of the energy that you need to get to your goals, motivating yourself, and concentration on what you need to concentrate on. The inner self, your individuation, autonomy, unity, and personal interests. What are you interested in? Group 4. What do you want to be connected to? What do you want to connect yourself to and conjunct yourself with? We also have Virgo. So some of you may have some Virgos or Scorpio energy in your life. Some of you may be Virgos or Scorpios or know some Virgos or Scorpios. And what's the other one we have? Square. Okay, so Virgo and Scorpio is coming up very strong. So again, like I said, some of you may have some significant people in your life that are either Virgo or Scorpio, or some of you also may be a Virgo or Scorpio. Virgo, though, when Virgo comes up, this is a restructure and a healing. Virgo heals. It also focuses on health. This is time to focus on your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health in the month of August. It looks like that's a big focus for you. But Virgo is also about reorganizing your schedule so that we can move forward on the things that we really want to move forward on. It's also healing our inner self-image. Healing yourself in so many ways. And then we have Square. So resistance, struggle, obstacles, experience, effort, learning, conflict, obsession, problems. So again, we have this card coming up that's similar to the wall cards that we were getting earlier, similar to kind of the energy that we were talking about earlier on in this reading about where you're currently coming from. You're currently coming from the resistance, the struggle, the obstacles, but through this, again, kind of like what I was saying, through the divine guidance, this is all for your higher learning. This is all for you to learn. You're going to learn from this, and you'll never have to experience this type of scenario again. But it's us becoming that Knight of Pentacles energy, and then you will never have to experience that. All of a sudden, you'll be on top of it. You'll be bigger than that. So I'm seeing August being this major, major breakthrough month for you, group number 4. It's a major breakthrough month of you stepping into your ultimate power. Okay? And it's not even necessarily ultimate power, because I see that there's so much more potential in you than what you're even going to be reaching in August. So I really want to make that clear. There's even more potential within you than what you're even reaching in August. And I know, I can tell you guys right now, I know that you're reaching higher potentials than even what you're going to see in August, okay? August is like the precipice and the beginning of you stepping into that higher power. And then it's just going to grow from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle these cards to get any last info, and then we also have an advice card at the end for you from Spirit, which those have been so powerful. So let's go ahead and see group 4. We have Speak Truth coming up. So this is about owning your authenticity, speaking truth. I'm also hearing, if you've been looking for an answer on something, the answer is coming to you during the month of August. I almost feel like you're going to find it within. You're going to find the answer within yourself. Some of you may take up meditating, or you may just kind of get an epiphany in August. I'm hearing that you're going to get an epiphany on a question that you've been wondering in the month of August. Let's see what else we get. Okay. Oh my God. Are we even surprised that that card is coming up? So if you've been listening to any of this reading, you already know what I'm about to say at this point. The play card, what have your guides been trying to tell you, group 4? They have been trying to tell you that it's time to play more. It is time to have fun with your life. This is going to help you so much in so many ways. Like, the month of August for you is about enjoying your life more rather than being always so stressed about it. You know, we might feel like we're obligated or we need to be stressed about it because of maybe what we're dealing with, but it's about having more fun with it. Like, we don't necessarily need to have like a fun time, but when our outlook is more kind of like playful, even with our mistakes, those mistakes lighten up so much. It's so much easier for us to get through them. Like, I used to be so hard on myself. For example, when I first started filming videos, if I ever stuttered, or if I ever coughed, or if I ever sneezed, or if I ever like made a weird noise or something, I would be so cautious, and I would have to like scrap that part of the video and like redo it, or if not like redo the entire video, because I'd be so harsh on myself. But right when I got to the point of like not caring, and then also just being really like go with the flow, and if I like randomly make a weird noise, like I'll just make it at the end of the day, because I'm like, oh, that doesn't matter. Like, but I used to be so nervous. I'm like, that's gonna go on the internet where people can like listen back to that whenever they want. But now I'm kind of like, whatever. Like, it is what it is. So this is time to be more playful. And right when I became more playful with myself and my videos, it became way more fun to make videos. It became way more fun to do what I do. And also people started recognizing it more and having more fun within the videos as well. So this is about you taking on more of that play. And I know that, you know, maybe you don't make videos for a living, but you can apply this in many different aspects of your life. So even when kind of shit hits the fan, if we can kind of just laugh about it and be a little bit more relaxed about it, our ability to find solutions, our ability to deal with the problem is much better than if we are super stressed about it. Sometimes we think like, oh, we have to be stressed about it because otherwise we're not being realistic, and otherwise we'll never solve the problem. But the thing is stress and worry does not solve our problems. It never does. In fact, it usually makes them worse, right? And so a better way of looking at things and a better way of going about things is to do it from a little bit more of like a fun, playful, lighthearted energy, because then usually solutions come to you a lot easier, and it's also easier for us to take action on them, because when we're taking action from a place of worry and stress, it's very hard to even get motivation and move our body. So how are we able to fix our problems from that state of being? So instead, if we can shift our state of being to something that's like not so realistic, I guess, and having a little bit more fun and being a little bit more playful, which might seem kind of hard to like get into that mindset. But if we can get there, dealing with that issue is going to be a lot easier and a lot better from that state of being. So again, I'm hearing a huge message from your guides, just like what I was hearing when I looked right at this card. I was like, oh, I'm feeling jokester energy from them. And guys, I do not plan out what cards come next. I do not plan out my readings. I do not look at the cards that are coming next ever. They just come out in my videos as they come out, and then I look at them and I'm like, whoa. And I'm always shocked at how spirit speaks through these readings, like the fact that I picked this up through the divine guidance and I just felt your guides were giving you that message. And then again, we have confirmation of that. We have huge confirmation of that with our play card, with the dolphins. Own your power, begin to have more fun in your life. August is gonna go so much more smoothly for you. And I really feel like you're stepping up and you're like really coming above all of the other stuff that was holding you back. You're really stepping above all of that during the month of August. My group number 4 is, it's going to be wildly amazing. And I'm seeing just a lot of transformation and a lot of new schedule, and also kind of focusing more on health in all aspects and healing. I'm seeing a lot of healing happening for you. And it's going to be very positive. So again, just look at things in a fun perspective. It's going to be amazing. I am sending you all of my love. Oh, actually, before we go, I almost forgot. We literally have this card. I'm gonna restart my camera really quick though, just because it's about to cut out. It always cuts out every half an hour, so I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. So we have the card here. This is your advice card. It says, oh my, okay, guys. I can't. I literally can't. This card says childlike wonder on it, which reminds me of the play thing that we were just talking about, and letting your childhood sort of like child fun side back out. Okay. Hopefully you feel just as shocked as I am. So this says, it is often said that comparison is the thief of joy. Oh, guys, did I not talk about comparison at some point in this reading? I think it was maybe the conjunction or something. Something made me think about, oh no, it was this one. This one made me think, here's where we can see someone else's property and money and real estate, inheritance, investments, and we can also see our own, blah, 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 blah. I literally, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna stop freaking out and just get back to the reading, but that came up in our reading, okay? So anyway, it is often said that comparison is the thief of joy, which can be true, but perhaps what robs us even more of pure, unbounded joy is familiarity. How beautiful, how wondrous is the world when we see things for the first time, when we look at things through the wonder and awe of a child's eyes. Getting back to the playful child. Okay. We notice all the miraculous things we so often take for granted. We look not just with our eyes, but with our hearts. Suddenly the air becomes crisper, the leaves become greener, the ocean becomes deeper, and life becomes fuller. Group 4. Guys, I could not have said it better myself. This card is, the month of August, your guides are coming through so strong, group number 4. And I'm really feeling like your guides are coming through right now being like, you thought you were gonna get a prediction for August? No, you're getting a bunch of advice from us. So I really feel like they're coming through saying that. And wow, did they ever deliver. Your guides are really telling you it is okay to have fun with life, even when there's stressful things going on. Even if there's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, it is okay to have fun with life. It is okay to have fun with that responsibility. Okay, so when we need to step up our game, if we do it from a place of joy and fun, it is going to be wildly more amazing than if we do it from a place of like, bleh. It's going to be wildly more amazing. And our outcome will be wildly more good, and the action that we take will be much more in alignment with the outcome that we actually want. An interesting thing that I sort of like realized in my life is whenever we take action from a certain state, it's like a boomerang. That's what comes back to us. If I take action from a place of hate, okay, imagine the reaction that I would get back from other people. If I'm just shouting out hate and I'm like, meh. Or if I'm shouting out a bunch of stress, and if I go to somebody feeling so stressed, they're gonna react in a way of like, how do I deal with this? Like, ooh. And then they're probably gonna be like, I'm just gonna give you like a lot of advice, or it's kind of stressing me out. You know, you're probably just gonna stress the other person out a little bit, and they're gonna want to like give you advice. And you know, unless they're really strong, they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna be really strong, right? But usually, whatever we dish out is kind of what gets reflected back to us. Okay, and so point being is if we take action from a place of playfulness, from a place of fun, from a place of optimism, a lot of the times the outcome will be equal to that, or it'll at least lead us down and open up new doorways for us to get the outcome that we really want. It'll help us kind of see the way to get that outcome. And that's also why we have this wall card that has a keyhole. The obstacle in front of you has a keyhole, but the only way to unlock the keyhole and get to the other side is to focus on what is the outcome that I want? What is on the other side? If it's a lot of fun and joy on the other side, then the only thing that's going to unlock that door is going to be fun and joy. That's the only thing that's going to unlock the door, because it's the only thing that's equal to it. If we try to open up a door with a key of stress when we're trying to get to a place of abundant joy, we're using the wrong key. We're using the wrong key. So that's another message that I'm getting from your guides right now, is this message of a certain doorway. We cannot use the key of stress to open up the door of fun, because those two don't match. We need to use the key of fun to open up the door of fun to get to the other side of fun. We can't use the stress. So anyway, that's what we have for you. I hope that makes sense. I am blown away at your reading. I also feel like so much energy right now. Your guides are just like trying to hype you up right now. They're trying to get you in a good mood, and I'm feeling it because they're like sending that energy through me to you. And Spirit just came through strong. So I'm just going to give huge thanks to Spirit in this reading for coming through really strong. I hope you enjoyed this message, group number 4. I hope it made sense for you. I hope it offered something for you. And I am sending you all of my love. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up to let me know that. And you can also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye.